This is a tough one. Um, I don't know if many of you know. I'm sure if you've seen my previous videos, I've been to many Kings games. I'm a huge Kings fan. Been a Kings fan since the 90s. It's really been my only NBA team that I really watch, have followed since the beginning of my NBA fan days. And I'm still a huge Kings fan, even with having moved to Oregon. I was able to go to two of the playoff games that the Kings were in. Didn't know if they were ever going to make it to playoffs ever again. And so I went to two of the games. One, which was really fun to watch, where the Kings did win. That was the one where Draymond Green got ejected and went crazy, and that game was awesome. And I took my dad to that. One of the things as a kid I had always wanted to do was to go to a Kings playoff game with my dad. Um, the other one, unfortunately, they lost, and I went with my friend. Um, but that was great. I absolutely loved being able to take in the playoff atmosphere. Sacramento has a fantastic atmosphere and fantastic fans that really do love and care about the team. So with that being said, as you can see from what's on the screen, um, this just sucks. It really does. The Kings have done it again. This front office is terrible. This is not the way a front office should be handling an NBA team. I've given them the benefit of the doubt multiple years, and they have done this time and time again. With the previous ownership, now they were actually trying to tank. The previous owners were trying to tank the team and the franchise to sell and move the Sacramento Kings in hopes to Vegas. Um, or Reno. I really don't know. I'm pretty sure it was primarily Vegas. That's what I was always hearing, and that was when the Maloof brothers were the owners of the team. Um, but now the owner that's here now, it is just I'm sick of it now, 100%. And I know they're having Doug Christie be the interim head coach. I don't really know. I mean, shoot, if I'm even looking to be a head coach, I don't even think I'd take a chance on Sacramento. I'm a fan. This organization is terrible. It's absolutely terrible, and it's a disgrace to the fans. Where there's finally been some decent ball playing. The Kings actually had a good run, and then they had a 5-game losing streak. Um, and I with head coach Mark Brown. Um, I can't believe it, and the way they do it. He did his after game press conference. He's heading back to his car, and they call him there. They let him know. I think it was a call or it was a text, but they let him know. This is just not it, and it really stinks that this organization refuses to learn, refuses to do anything professionally. They do players dirty by letting them leave and whatnot. Even players, we've lost our chances with players. Halliburton wanted to play for the Kings. He's not coming back. Even if we wanted him back, he's not coming back. It's absolutely, it's just a shock. It's an absolute shock that it goes from one owner to another, and how much more in shambles. It's just absolutely, and with success, that was just around the corner, just a few years ago. A few years ago, made it into the playoffs. Last year, we were in the play-in. The team was on the up and up, and made a move for DeMar DeRozan and to fire a fantastic head coach. Mike Brown, top tier head coach. The Kings were so lucky to have him. This is just similar to the Rick Alderman firing, which was a terrible firing by the owner's part. The owners are doing that purposely. Now that the news has been out, it's been a while. Everybody knows that the Maloof brothers were tanking the entire franchise to move them, which absolutely, the Maloof brothers deserved everything that they got because of that. They lost everything. I can't believe this. I really can't. And this is just, it's an absolute shame. It's an absolute shame, and it's an absolute circus. And this is coming from a diehard Kings fan who's been a Kings fan since the 90s. My first ever basketball game that my dad took me to was a Kings game. My favorite player was Williams, White Chocolate, Jason Williams. And I was devastated when Williams got traded away and we got Mike Bibby. And then Mike Bibby, because he played the same position, slowly became my favorite player. And I think historically, my favorite players are those two guys, Jason Williams and Mike Bibby. And I definitely was having Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox. Those guys were absolutely my favorite players to watch. And they were definitely cementing themselves in Kings history. And this organization has been so dysfunctional. De'Aaron Fox has been wanting to leave for a while. I know this from some source. It's a very credible source. Very credible source that's like within the doors kind of thing. De'Aaron Fox is going to leave. I don't see any other way out. With this happening, there is no hope of De'Aaron Fox staying. De'Aaron Fox is not going to sign another contract. The Kings' best bet is to trade him. They need to trade him for someone, or else they're going to get nothing. And I don't know what they're going to do. They have Sabonis on a terrible contract they should have never signed. That was way too much money, and I don't know why they did it. Don't know what to do with DeMar DeRozan. There's not really much you can do. Then talking about trading Kevin Huerter for a while. It's too late. This organization just went literally from one day making one move from a team that could potentially still make it into playoffs to a team that has no hope. I understand Doug Christie is the interim head coach. He could do well. What I fear, and I really do fear, that the Kings have not learned from Vlade Divac. I think that the Kings are trying to make a push to have maybe Doug Christie as the head coach. I think this is something that I think it's really almost the only turning point that the Kings can go to. Because once again, who wants to be the head coach of the Sacramento Kings when this organization has proven so long, for such a long track record, that they suck? They don't know how to handle an NBA team. The owner does not know what basketball really is. It goes back to the whole thing about talking about cherry picking, that the Kings players should be cherry picking. This is just terrible. I just can't believe that this has happened. As a Kings fan, this is just. This is about as worse of a season turnaround as a fan could experience. And what sucks is that this is not the worst that's to come. This is going to get a lot worse. This really is. I don't know what this means for the organization. I honestly think this means, it's going to be rebuilt at this point. I think it takes 10, 15 years at the minimum. Don't think it can be a quick turnaround of 5 years. And it just really sucks for the community. It really sucks for the fans. Because of everything they've been through. For this organization to make moves this blindsided, this is terrible. And I know, for me, and I've been pretty quiet about this, because I thought about making a video on this. Ooh, I could be the first person to talk about this, and that. Because I did know about this, that this potentially could be happening. This organization, it's just nothing, and it's finally settling in for me. Nothing is going to change unless the organization changes. And I don't think it will. I don't think there will be organizational changes. I think the Kings are stuck like this. And I don't know if, even if the owner really, I don't know what his motive is for any of this, what he wants. Does he want the Kings to do better? Does he just want the Kings arena to be rented out and for the Kings games just to bring in some fans, to bring in some money? I don't know. There is so many question marks going around the Sacramento Kings. It really is. And I don't think there's any answers. I think there isn't anyone the Kings can necessarily really, really trade for unless they do a miraculous trade. And I don't think they will. I genuinely don't. I am so sorry for you Kings fans. I am really sorry. I feel the pain. I was, when I first heard this, that this could potentially happen, I was in disbelief, and now the fact that it has happened, it's just absolutely, it's heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching. For a coach that good, we're not going to have a coach. I mean, who are we going to have that's going to be as good as Mike Brown? Or even better than Mike Brown? The fact that we have fired him, there's thought that we're going to get a coach that is better. I think this organization is delusional. I think they are impatient, and I think they are delusional. I don't know what else to say. Hope you all have a good night. Try to stay strong, Kings fans. Try to stay strong. I know this looks incredibly bad, and it's going to get worse. I, I'm still a Kings fan, obviously. I do think that there can be some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. We gotta get lucky, and I mean, I hope that the Kings do make some lucky moves. I hope this organization somehow knows something that nobody else knows. I really do, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyways, hope you have a good night. Bye.